M0FXB Pluto Plus. You can use this via the Ethernet connection here, but actually the data connection somehow with your computer will use or turn your USB connection into an Ethernet connection. Now that's very clever. But if you use the Ethernet, you have to power it here. This is for, I would say, the SD card for upgrading firmware, changing firmware, things like that. I just thought we'd quickly take the front off. It does have 2 receive and 2 transmit antennas. So yeah, it's a transceiver as well. I'm just going to take this cover off. I took there's our screws that hold these on there in a pile just here. But anyway, let's just undo this. I thought I'd have a quick look inside. It's actually easier to take the screws out on this side and then slide it out. Now remember to go to the download page. I'll put the link in, the GitHub link, so you download the drivers so that when you do connect it to your Windows PC, it will start using it as an Ethernet and letting the data flow. You can also go into your USB, your PC USB, and there's some config files you can change if you need to. Right, I've not taken this apart before. So, oh yeah. Well, it looks exactly the same as all the photographs and other videos that I've watched. And look where that, just take note that that's there, because that actually does mean something. Now have a look at the big chip that we've got here. I can hear Mazzy in the background. So what I'll do, I'll get ChatGPT to explain to me what everything is. I'll also show you the back half. There's your, if you look here, data is on the left, and then you've got USB power here, obviously Ethernet. There's your SD card. I'll do a diagram of what these do as well. And then if we turn it around on this side, you've got your, and they are labeled there as well, T2, R2, R1, and P1. Now remember as well that I've just been sort of looking this up. You don't have, it doesn't matter if you select antenna 1 or 2, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I'm finding, because it's like a balanced system, so it just makes the best of the antennas you've got connected to both. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. I'll just quickly show this, but I'll do a better video. But you've got your RF inputs, TX outputs, power LEDs, GPIO header, power jack, 5-volt DC, status LEDs, Ethernet port, USB port, mode switch, expansion head. Ooh, what's that? I/O for expansion boards. Good, isn't it? It's a switch. And it's got those pins that we talked about here. We need to know what they do actually. You know, if we move that, I think that if you leave them where they are, it just boots from the firmware they've installed from factory. User buttons there, press to enter DFU mode. That's handy. Clock there, you can connect external 400, is it, megahertz clock input. Excellent. RFIC there, USB port. There are 2. And other notes, full duplex not supported, okay. And SDR, software compatibility, GNU, GQRX, yeah, I think I've heard of that. All the different modes, look, SSB, CW, and so on. And the band coverage is 6 gigahertz. Is it 70 megahertz to 6 gigahertz? So it's not your HF bands, but you can use something like, I googled it, and if you buy like, and there's a smaller version of this, something like a Ham It Up, it will knock off 100 or so, 120 megahertz or 125, depending on which one you use. And then you could probably do, I would say you could do the HF band. But always learning involved in these. So it says here that the chip is FPGA Z1NQ, main processor, runs the SDR, ARM, FPGA, and to SDR people, that's all going to mean something. Excellent. So, well, that's it really. So to put it back in, I'm just going to show you here. We're literally just going to grab the board and just, I need to get it on the right level for it to slide in accurately. So let me just work out the best one. There it is there. So it's the first notch above the screw holes, and once you've done that, it just slides in. and then just, you know, put your cover back on. And yeah, there's a few of these. There's the Pluto, there's the Web AAA. I really like, my favourite, to be honest, is actually this one. It's all the bands that I would ever use. It is via USB, although you could set this up with a Raspberry Pi to have the Ethernet connections. This is all built in. I think it's a really good device. The key thing I would say is remember to load your drivers. I put the GitHub link in, the purchase link in. This one's quite pricey for what it does, if you ask me. I'm not saying I'm not going to say high price. But what I do know is these, £110, maybe even 100 if you shop around, and it does everything I want it to do, and it does it really well. Covers a very wide bandwidth. So just bear that in mind. You've got the Web AAA as well. Bye for now.